G'day! Today we're doing a service on a Rolls-Royce. It's a 1967 Silver Shadow 6.2 litre V8 and it's got the 4-speed transmission in it. Now this one's been nicely restored. To open the bonnet, there's a little lever here under the steering column, just here. So we just pull this here and it just pops up. So we've got the transmission oil filler here. Now these pre-1970 Rolls-Royces, they have the what's called the alloy Hydramatic 4-speed transmission. After 1970 in Australia, they went to the turbo 400s generally. The linkage setup here, you can see that's all sloppy as well. So that can all be improved if there's no adjustment left on it. You can see he's got a bit of an oil leak there. While we've got it up, we'll just have a look, make sure there's no real major oil leaks or problems there. Check your drive line, your tail shaft. It's got a bit of a pinion oil leak on the diff there. Check your unis on the drive axles. You can see they've got very large universal joints there. They're quite large. There's finger size for reference. Stainless steel exhaust. It doesn't look too bad for something that's 54 years old. And they are literally ball joints. And these are all Imperial 1732 Allen key on this particular one. The oil is pretty clean in there. Inch and a 1/16. It's a good idea to put an O-ring under that just so you don't have to tighten it up so much. Now that little nut there, you can see that it's quite tight. So what that means that at some stage someone's used the wrong tool on there and they've actually bent it, so it's the hole that goes through that nut's oval. What you can do when we get the pan off is you get 2 hammers and you can just sort of crush it or give it a tap and it'll just sort of make it more round. That should be spinning nice and freely and easily on there. If I remember, I'll film that in a moment. There we go. Now you can see the rear band there, where my finger is, and these are the servos that apply the band. There's your front band there, you can see, and the servo for it there. Little bit of rubbish in the pan there, you can see. Probably beneficial to put a magnet in there. Now here we are on the Rolls-Royce shop manual, and the only manual I've got here is the one with the Hydramatic where you actually measure it through the floor. So it must be the one just before this one. And you can see there's a little plug on the floor where you can measure the fluid level. Our one's got the one in the engine bay. Here's just a little bit of information on the shift points, and also you've got the oil pressure test there. You can see 450 RPM in 4th gear, or when you select D. Actually it hasn't got a D, it's got a 2, 3 and 4. 75 psi, and in reverse should have 90 psi minimum. We've got the front and the rear servo there, I just showed you, and a blown up diagram of the front servo. And the rear one. You need special tools to adjust the front band, and the information to set or adjust the rear band. So to adjust the bands you need these special tools, which we don't have. And here for the rear band, front band and the rear band, and assembling of the, oh, that's just a spring compressor so you can put that servo back together. But we need these adjuster tools, which we don't have. So it looks like we're just going to do a oil change service and flush that filter. And there's what the front band adjustment tool looks like. And the code for those, or the part number for that tool, is UR3144. There's a diagram of the front band adjustment tool, setting it there and adjusting it over here. Picture of the rear band adjustment tool, and I've managed to locate a few specs for these. You can see how they're adjusted there. There's 2 different sizes. And just for reference, here we are on the automatic choice parts information, and you can see there are a few different types of bands with adjustment and without adjustment. So we've got a mallet and another square hammer, and we've found that it's oval that way, so if I give it a tap that way it'll squash it down and make it more round. That's the plan. And you want to try and hit it as square as you can on there so you don't wreck the hex. Look at that. Nice and easy. And we're going to put an O-ring on the other side of that. Now we can't find the filter as well, so we've just flushed this one out. Unfortunately, you can see the screen, see there where my thumb is. You can see that the webbing has opened up a little bit, but we're doing the best we can on this one. We've put a O-ring in there. And we can't find a gasket for it, so we've had to do something that I hate doing, and that's putting elastic all over everything. But just a nice thin coat, and we're going to let it go off. It's going to go dry so it doesn't actually stick to the case, make it easier to remove at some stage. And these have a 14 bolt pan on it. We have found some, but they're only 12 bolt holes, not the 14. Now you just want to make sure that these little tubes here go in tightly in there, or as tight as they can, otherwise you'll end up sucking a little bit of rubbish through there. So one of those tubes goes on there and the other one on the other side. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a neodymium magnet on the filter as well there, just on the bottom, because the pan is actually alloy. And when you're putting it back on, it's a good idea to just get the thread started on the filler tube. There we go. Linkages probably do need a little bit of repair, but there's still a bit of life in there. We've also put the accelerator all the way down to the floor, and this linkage up here is a rod that goes from the driver's side, or the right hand side here, and then it goes across the top of the bell housing to a linkage that comes onto here, and that's bottomed out all the way, so you can't actually adjust it anymore. If you do need to adjust a bit more, then those linkages are going to need repairing, and you don't want to also have the tension on that anywhere further than the travel, otherwise you're going to end up breaking something or bending something. I hope that makes sense. Make sure you tighten the drain plug if you've removed that, tighten your filler tube, and now we're going to put some oil back into it. triteclubricants.com/lube guide, Rolls-Royce 1967 4-speed, and it recommends their product, the ATF Multi-Trans, Dextron 3, or the ATF Universal. Now out of those three, we're going to use the Dextron 3 because the transmission's showing signs of wear and tear and age, and the Dextron 3 is slightly thicker than the other fluids. But the decision is yours to make in the end. So we've put about 5.5 litres in, and now we can just start it, go through the gears. When we start it, we quickly just dip it. If it's showing anything on that dipstick, then it's okay, safe to keep it idling until you get the oil level right. And we measure the lower mark so you can see it's just focus. We're in the ballpark there. We might have a bit too much in there because the oil expands as it warms up, and we'll just suck a little bit out if we need to. Turn it off. And these are the other linkages that I was talking about off the accelerator, connected to the accelerator and the carby. They need a little bit of attention. They're pretty sloppy, and they will be hard to adjust when they're that sloppy as well. Just back from a road test, check the oil level with the motor running, and it's right on the top mark. Anyway, apologies for not having the tools or all the information on band adjustment. I'll leave a link. There is a video out there that has a cast iron version of these transmissions, and it just shows you what to look for in the band adjustment. Anyway, I hope that helps as much as it has. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave any comments or suggestions in the section below, and even if you have information on the band adjustment that might be adaptable or something along those lines, drop it in the link below. Thank you for watching.